Abrahadabra. It is April 10th, the third day of the feast of the 3 days of the writing of the book of the law. It is the chapter of Horus. Chapter 1 was Nuit, chapter 2 was Hadit, and chapter 3 is Horus. Okay. Avenger. It's the wild and crazy third chapter that freaks most people out about the book of the law. First chapter, Nuit's chapter, is just so beautiful and lyrical and makes everybody horny. It's just beautiful. Chapter 2 is kind of, well, it's disturbing in a few spots. If you take things as being too maybe cruelly pragmatic and things like that. But chapter 3 is just off the wall. Okay, and it was off the wall to Crowley too. It freaked Crowley. I'm sure he doesn't, well, he does let on that it freaked him out. And when you read it, it is different, fundamentally different than the other two chapters. Obviously, it was dictated in sort of a choppy way, like the first two chapters. But Crowley admitted early on that he was nervous going into the temple writing desk area on day 3, and that he was in a different state of mind in chapter 3. And you'll see that chapter 3 depends more upon the translated verses from the Stele of Revealing that Crowley had translated and paraphrased earlier. So it wasn't dictated things. It was messages, sort of like he felt inspired that way, and he and Rose later decided that's where you should stick those things in. I'm going to read the third chapter for you. So if you're going to run away after I read you this little thing from the Equinox of the Gods in a section that he titled the section. Let's see what he titled it. The editing of this book. And we won't be able to follow along which verses say what exactly, because he said verses 9 through this means this. But just to show you the fact that Crowley himself was trying to figure out who was talking, why they were talking, what is a response for his inner thoughts, and what is to be inserted later. Just to show you that if you're confused about the third chapter, Crowley was too. And as far as the warlike bloodthirstiness tone of it, you got to remember that is the characteristics of the god Horus. Okay. When we talk about gods, we don't accurately attach human moral characteristics to their power. The powers are divine. Constance is reading this marvelous Tibetan Buddhist book. And there's gods and aspects of gods that are just terrible. They make this seem like kids play, bloodthirsty, head chopping off, eating flesh of devotees. This is all perfectly okay, and it's in reference to perfectly wholesome spiritual uh, uh, powers and energies. Okay, she, when she was listening to uh, the video of herself reading the third chapter this morning, she said that Tibetans wouldn't think twice about how cool that was. Okay, you too. Okay, it takes a spiritual kind of grown up to sort of shake that thing that what we have to take as metaphors of divine powers. We can't project our own moral qualities or societal qualities on them because they're not there to represent those issues. Anyway, here's a few things that he says about chapter 3. Verse 1 appears to be to complete the triangle begun by the first two verses of the previous chapters. Okay. It is a simple statement involving no particular speaker or hearer. The omission of I in the name of God appears to have alarmed me. And in verse 2, Aiwass offers a hurried explanation of a somewhat excited nature. Verse 3 is spoken by Rahur Kawit. Them evidently refers to some undescribed enemies. Ye to those who accept his formula, etc., etc. Okay. Verse 34 is a kind of poetic peroration. It's not addressed to anyone in particular. Verse 35, simply that section of this chapter is completed. So Aiwass will say stuff like, okay, I'm through talking about that. We're going to talk about something else. It is to be noted that the translations from the stele in verses 37 and 38 were no more than instantaneous thoughts to be inserted afterwards. Verse 38 begins my address to the God in the first sentence. Okay. Verses 39 and 42 are instructions for me personally. Okay. 43 and 45 indicate a proper course of conduct for the Scarlet Woman. Okay. Verses 49 through 59 contain a series of declarations of war. And there is no further difficulty as to speaker or hearer to the end of the chapter, although the subject changes repeatedly in an incomprehensible manner. So if you're a bit confused, so was Crowley. Only in verse 75 do we find a peroration of the whole book, presumably by Aiwass. Okay. I just shared that much to show that this is if you're confused in spots and you're trying to make some sense to it, trying to project some theory you may have one way or another on the interpretation of the whole thing, this is why the comment at the end, the Class A comment, that it's all who here, I'll read it to you, I'll show it to you right here. All who discuss the contents of of this book are to be shunned by all as centers of pestilence. Because when people start arguing about it and projecting too much things on it and projecting a crystallized doctrine out of the book of the law, politely just run the hell away from them. Because it's not their place to interpret this for you. And it's especially true with the third chapter. Abrahadabra, the reward of Rahur Kut. There is division hither homeward. There is a word not known. Spelling is defunct, all is not aught. Beware, hold, raise the spell of Rahur Kuit. Now let it first be understood that I am a god of war and vengeance, and of vengeance. I shall deal hardly with them. Choose ye an island, fortify it, dung it about with enginery of war. I will give you a war engine. With it ye shall smite the peoples, and none shall stand before you. Lurk, withdraw upon them. This is the law of the battle of conquest. Thus shall my worship be about my secret house. Get the stele of revealing itself, set it in thy secret temple, and that temple is already aright disposed, and it shall be your Qibla forever. It shall not fade, but miraculous color shall come back to it day after day. Close it in locked glass for proof to the world. This shall be your only proof. I forbid argument. Conquer. That is enough. I will make easy to you the abstruction from the ill-ordered house in the victorious city. Thou shalt thyself convey it with worship, O prophet, though thou likest it not. Thou shalt have danger and trouble. Rahur Ku is with thee. Worship me with fire and blood. Worship me with swords and with spears. Let the woman be girt with a sword before me. Let blood flow to my name. Trample down the heathen. Be upon them, O warrior. I will give you of their flesh to eat. Sacrifice cattle, little and big, after a child. But not now. Ye shall see that hour, O blessed beast, and thou the scarlet concubine of his desire, and ye shall be sad thereof. Deem not too eagerly to catch the promises. Fear not to undergo the curses. Ye, even ye, know not this meaning all. Fear not at all. Fear neither men, nor fates, nor gods, nor anything. Money fear not, nor laughter of the folk folly, nor any other power in heaven or upon the earth or under the earth. Nu is your refuge, as Hadit your light, and I am the strength, force, vigor of your arms. Mercy let be off, damn them who pity, kill and torture, spare not, be upon them. That stele they should call the abomination of desolation. Count well its name, and it shall be to you as 718. Why? Because of the fall of because, that he is not there again. Set up my image in the east. Thou shalt buy thee an image which I will show thee, a special not unlike the one thou knowest, and it shall be suddenly easy for thee to do this. The other images group around me to support me. Let all be worshipped, for they shall cluster to exalt me. I am the visible object of worship, the others are secret. For the beast and his bride are they, and for the winners of the ordeal X. What is this? Thou shalt know. For perfume, mix meal and honey, and thick leavings of red wine, then oil of a bromelain, and olive oil, and after soften and smooth down with rich, fresh blood. The best blood is of the moon, monthly. Then the fresh blood of a child, or dropping from the host of heaven, then from enemies, then of the priest, or of the worshippers, last of some beast, no matter what. This burn. Of this make cakes, and eat unto me. This hath also another use. Let it be laid before me, and kept thick with the perfumes of your orison. It shall become full of beetles, as it were, and creeping things sacred unto me. These slay, naming your enemies, and they shall fall before you. Also they shall breed lust and power of lust in you at the eating thereof. Also ye shall be strong in war. Moreover, be they kept long, it is better, for they swell with my force, all before me. My altar is of open brasswork, burn thereon in silver and gold. There cometh a rich man from the west, who shall pour his gold upon thee. From gold forge steel, be ready to fly or to smite. But your holy place shall be untouched throughout the centuries. Though with fire and sword it be burnt down and shattered, yet an invisible house there standeth, and shall stand until the fall of the great equinox, when Thrumachis shall arise, and the double-wanded one assume my throne and place. Another prophet shall arise, and bring fresh fever from the skies. Another woman shall awake the lust and worship of the snake. Another soul of God and beast shall mingle in the globed priest. Another sacrifice shall stain the tomb. Another king shall reign. And blessing no longer be poured to the hawk-headed mystical Lord. The half of the word of Heru-Raha, called Hur-Par-Krat and Rahur-Kut. Then said the prophet unto the god, I adore thee in the song. I am the Lord of Thebes, and I the inspired fourth speaker of Mentu. For me unveils the veiled sky. The self-slain Ankh-Af Nakansu, whose words are truth, I invoke, I greet thy presence, O Rahur-Kuit. Unity uttermost showed. I adore the might of thy breath, supreme and terrible God, who makest the gods in death to tremble before thee. I adore thee. Appear on the throne of Ra. Open the ways of the Ku, lighten the ways of the Ka. The ways of the Cobs runs through to stir me or still me. Aum, let it kill me. So that thy light is in me, and its red flame is as a sword in my hand to push thy order. There is a secret door that I shall make to establish thy way in all the quarters. These are the adorations, as thou hast written. As it is said, the light is mine, its rays consume me. I have made a secret door into the house of Ra and tomb of Kephra and Ahithur. I am thy Theban, O Mentu, the prophet Ankh-Af Nakansu. By Bes Namaut my breast I beat. By wise Tanich I weave my spell. Show thy star splendor, O Nuit. Bid me within thine house to dwell. O winged snake of light, Hadit. Abide with me, Rahur Kuit. All this in a book to say how thou didst come hither, and a reproduction of this ink and paper forever. For in it is the word secret, and not only in the English. And thy comment upon this, the book of the law, shall be printed beautifully in red ink and black upon beautiful paper made by hand. And to each man and woman that thou meetest, were it but to dine or to drink at them, it is the law to give. Then they shall chance to abide in this bliss, or no, it is no odds. Do this quickly. But the work of the comment, that is easy, and Hadit burning in thy heart shall make swift and secure thy pen. Establish at thy Kaaba a clerk house. All must be done well and with business way. The ordeals thou shalt oversee thyself, save only the blind ones. Refuse none, but thou shalt know and destroy the traitors. I am Rahur Kuit, and I am powerful to protect my servant. Success is thy proof. Argue not, convert not, talk not over much. Them that seek to entrap thee, to overthrow thee, them attack without pity or quarter, and destroy them utterly. Swift as a trodden serpent, turn and strike. Be thou yet deadlier than he. Drag down their souls to awful torment. Laugh at their fear. Spit upon them. Let the scarlet woman beware. If pity and compassion and tenderness visit her heart, if she leave my work to toy with old sweetnesses, then shall my vengeance be known. I will slay me, her child. I will alienate her heart. I will cast her out from men. As a shrinking and despised harlot shall she crawl through dusk-wet streets and die cold and anhungered. But let her raise herself in pride. Let her follow me in my way. Let her work the work of wickedness. Let her kill her heart. Let her be loud and adulterous. Let her be covered with jewels and rich garments, and let her be shameless before all men. Then will I lift her to pinnacles of power. Then will I breed from her a child mightier than all the kings of the earth. I will fill her with joy. With my force shall she see and strike at the worship of Nu. She shall achieve Hadit. I am the warrior lord of the 40s. The 80s cower before me and are abased. I will bring you to victory and joy. I will be at your arms in battle, and ye shall delight to slay. Success is your proof. Courage is your armor. Go on in my strength, and ye shall turn not back for any. This book shall be translated into all tongues, but always with the original in the writing of the beast, for in the chance shape of the letters and their position to one another, in these are mysteries that no beast shall divine. Let him not seek to try. But one cometh after him, whence I say not who shall discover the key of it all. Then this line drawn is a key, then this circle squared in its failure is a key also, and abrahadabra. It shall be his child, and that strangely. Let him not seek after this, for thereby alone can he fall from it. Now this mystery of the letters is done, and I want to go on to the holier place. I am in a secret fourfold word, the blasphemy against all gods of men. Curse them, curse them, curse them. With my hawk's head, I peck at the eyes of Jesus as he hangs upon the cross. I flap my wings in the face of Mohammed and blind him. With my claws, I tear out the flesh of the Indian, the Buddhist, the Mongol, and Din. Balasti, Ompeda. I spit on your crapulous creeds. Let Mary and Violet be torn upon wheels. For her sake, let all chaste women be utterly despised among you. Also for beauty's sake and love's. Despise also all cowards, professional soldiers who dare not fight but play, all fools despise. But the keen and the proud, the royal and the lofty, ye are brothers. As brothers fight ye. There is no law beyond do what thou wilt. There is an end of the word of the God enthroned in Ra's seat, lightening the girders of the soul. To me do ye reverence, to me come ye through the tribulation of ordeal, which is bliss. The fool readeth this book of the law and its comment, and he understandeth it not. Let him come through the first ordeal, and it will be to him as silver. Through the second, gold. Through the third, stones of precious water. Through the fourth, ultimate sparks of the intimate fire. Yet to all it shall seem beautiful. Its enemies who say not so are mere liars. There is success. I am the hawk-headed lord of silence and strength. My nemesis shrouds the night blue sky. Hail, ye twin warriors about the pillars of the world, for your time is nigh at hand. I am the lord of the double wand of power, the wand of the force of Kaphnia. But my left hand is empty, for I have crushed a universe, and naught remains. Paste the sheets from right to left and from top to bottom, then behold. There is a splendor in my name, hidden and glorious, as the son of midnight is ever the sun. The ending of the words is the word abrahadabra. The book of the law is written and concealed. Aum Ha. And in case we forget, do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. The study of this book is forbidden. It is wise to destroy this copy after the first reading. Whoso disregards this does so at his own risk and peril. These are most dire. Those who discuss the contents of this book are to be shunned by all as centers of pestilence. All questions of the law are to be decided only by appeal to my writings, each for himself. There is no law beyond do what thou wilt. Love is the law, love under will. The priest of the princes, Ankh Afna Kansu. And so ends our little series on the feast of the 3 days of the writing of the Book of the Law, April 8th, 9th, and 10th, 1904. Tomorrow we'll pick up something else. Until then, continue to be good to yourself and be good to each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will.